Some roads are celebrated for their breathtaking beauty. Weaving through majestic mountains or tracing the edge of a sunlit coastline, their curves promising adventure and awe. Others are monuments to human ingenuity, their bridges and tunnels conquering landscapes once thought impassable, their very existence a testament to ambition and perseverance. But there are roads whose fame is forged not in beauty or engineering, but in the shadow of danger, roads that have become legends for their lethal unpredictability. Welcome to Quebec's Route 132. This is not a road for the faint of heart, it is a gauntlet, a test of endurance and nerve where survival is never guaranteed. Spanning a staggering 1,612 kilometres, Route 132 unfurls from the bustling outskirts of Montreal, tracing the mighty St. Lawrence River and plunging deep into the remote, wind-swept reaches of the Gaspé Peninsula. This is a road that has earned its reputation as a monster, a relentless ribbon of asphalt that slices through the heart of eastern Quebec, demanding respect and all too often exacting a heavy toll. Route 132 is no forgotten byway. It is a vital artery, a lifeline for commerce and connection, threading through towns, forests, and wild, untamed landscapes. Yet it bears a grim distinction. The title of Canada's deadliest road, a place where the margin for error is razor-thin and the consequences of misjudgment are often catastrophic. Here the landscape is as breathtaking as it is unforgiving. Sheer cliffs, icy bends and sudden whiteouts transform the road into a shifting labyrinth of hazards, where every curve hides a new threat. To travel Route 132 is to engage in a constant battle, not just against distance, but against the relentless assault of the elements. Snow, ice and blinding storms conspire to turn the journey into a trial by nature itself. The road's moods are legendary. One moment, it lies placid and inviting beneath a pale winter sun. The next, it transforms into a treacherous, ice-slicked corridor where even the most prepared vehicles struggle for purchase. Route 132 is more than a line on a map. It is a journey through the very soul of Quebec, a passage that reveals the province's wild beauty and its unforgiving temperament. The road's story begins in the frenetic sprawl of Montreal, where concrete and steel dominate, then slowly unravels into a narrow two-lane passageway swallowed by forests and flanked by frozen rivers, where civilization feels distant and fragile. The scenery shifts with every kilometre. Towering cliffs, dense forests and icy rivers create a landscape in constant flux. But the ever-present threat of the road never fades. Route 132 is infamous for its spectacular pile-ups and jackknifed vehicles, grim reminders of the road's unforgiving nature and the perils that await the unwary. Along its shoulder, simple wooden crosses stand as silent witnesses to the tragedies that have unfolded here, each one a stark marker of the road's deadly legacy. Every curve, every incline, every patch of black ice is a test of traction, of engineering, of the very limits of what a road can demand from those who travel it. The aftermath of disaster is a familiar sight here. Twisted metal, flashing lights, and the relentless struggle to restore order in the face of chaos, all set against the backdrop of a relentless winter. For those who study the intricate dance between machine and environment, Route 132 is a living laboratory, a place where the boundaries of endurance, design and adaptation are pushed to their limits. The road stands as both a necessity and a warning, a vital link for the region, but also a stark reminder of the dangers that come with traversing such a formidable landscape. The true character of Route 132 is revealed not just in its length or its scenery, but in its relentless, unyielding nature, a force that shapes everything around it. Every blizzard, every storm, every icy dawn adds another chapter to its legend, reinforcing its reputation as both a lifeline and a predator. This is the story of Route 132, a road that endures, that challenges, and that stands as a monument to the raw, untamed power of Quebec's wilderness. When examining Route 132, the data alone tells a story of relentless risk and danger. The numbers are not just high, they are extraordinary, setting this stretch of highway apart as one of the most hazardous in the nation. According to the latest National Transportation Safety Reports, Route 132 consistently ranks among the top 3 most accident-prone highways in Canada. Over the past decade, it has averaged more than 1,200 reported collisions annually, with a significant portion resulting in severe vehicle damage or total loss. In a country where the annual road fatality count hovers around 1,800, Route 132 alone accounts for nearly 8% of all highway-related deaths, despite representing less than 2% of the national highway network by length. The urban segment near Montreal is particularly notorious. Traffic density here regularly exceeds 10,000 vehicles per hour during peak times, and accident frequency spikes to 1 incident every 5 minutes, as confirmed by municipal traffic monitoring systems. This means that within a single morning rush, upwards of a dozen collisions or near misses are logged, making this section a statistical outlier in terms of urban road safety. The first major junction on Route 132 is a hotspot, averaging 5 multi-vehicle pile-ups per week. This intersection alone has been the subject of multiple safety audits and engineering reviews. The cumulative effect is a relentless cycle of vehicle destruction, with insurance claims and repair costs in this corridor far exceeding provincial averages. The risk profile shifts dramatically as Route 132 leaves the urban sprawl and enters rural Quebec. Here, the road narrows, traffic thins, but the hazards intensify. In rural stretches, the frequency of accidents drops, but the severity increases sharply. Data from the Quebec Ministry of Transport shows that collisions in these areas are 7 times more likely to result in fatalities compared to those within city limits. This disparity is attributed to higher average speeds, longer emergency response times, and the absence of median barriers or adequate lighting in many rural segments. The average response time for emergency services in rural sections exceeds 20 minutes, compared to under 8 minutes in urban areas. Combined with speed limits that can reach 100 kilometers per hour, the margin for error is razor thin. The equation is simple and unforgiving. Higher speeds, greater isolation, and unpredictable road conditions multiply the risk of catastrophic outcomes. Analysis of accident reports reveals that loss of control due to road surface conditions is the leading cause of severe incidents outside urban areas. Weather is a dominant factor in Route 132's danger profile. Winter, in particular, transforms the road into a high-risk environment. From December through April, accident rates on Route 132 surge by 30%. The majority of these incidents are directly linked to snow accumulation, black ice, and reduced visibility. Meteorological data indicates that the region experiences an average of 120 days of measurable snowfall per year, with blizzard conditions occurring at least a dozen times each winter. Whiteout conditions, where visibility drops below 10 meters, are a frequent hazard, often leading to chain reaction collisions and extended road closures. Black ice is another persistent threat, forming most commonly during early morning and late evening hours. Studies show that nearly 1 in 5 winter accidents on Route 132 involve loss of traction on invisible ice patches. Snowdrifts, sometimes exceeding 1 meter in height, can block entire lanes and have been responsible for multiple incidents involving heavy vehicles losing control. The combination of unpredictable weather, high speeds and limited visibility turns routine travel into a statistically significant risk event, especially during winter months. One segment of Route 132 is so notorious for its accident rate that it has been informally dubbed the Road of Crosses, a reference to the frequency and severity of incidents recorded there. While not an official designation, this stretch is consistently highlighted in provincial safety reviews as a critical area for intervention due to its high concentration of fatal and serious accidents. Statistical mapping of this corridor reveals a clustering of incidents, with accident density more than double the highway's average. These markers serve as a stark visual representation of the persistent hazards and the ongoing challenge of improving safety on this route. Each cross corresponds to a data point in the ongoing record of accidents, underscoring the human cost behind the statistics. The cumulative data from decades of monitoring paints a picture of a road that remains one of the most challenging and hazardous in the country, with persistent risks that defy easy solutions. Route 132's legacy is etched into the statistical record, a testament to the ongoing struggle between infrastructure, environment, and the unforgiving realities of Canadian weather. The deadly reputation of Route 132 is forged by a relentless combination of environmental and vehicular hazards, forces that, when combined, create a gauntlet of danger for any vehicle that dares to traverse its length. The first and most formidable adversary is the weather, which transforms the road into a shifting, unpredictable threat. Winter storms sweep across the landscape, blanketing the highway in thick, blinding snow and reducing visibility to a mere whisper of what lies ahead. The snow doesn't simply fall, it is hurled by fierce winds, building drifts that can block entire lanes and obscure the road's edges. Gale-force gusts, sometimes exceeding 100 kilometers per hour, whip snow across the asphalt, creating whiteout conditions where the road vanishes entirely. In these moments, the highway becomes a corridor of uncertainty, with vehicles reduced to crawling blindly through a world of swirling white. Headlights become faint glimmers, and the boundaries between road and ditch dissolve, leaving only guesswork to guide the way. These conditions set the stage for catastrophic chain reaction collisions as vehicles slide and collide in the chaos, unable to stop or steer on the treacherous surface. But the snow is only part of the story. The true menace often lies hidden: black ice. Unlike the obvious, glossy ice that glistens in the headlights, black ice is nearly invisible, blending seamlessly with the dark asphalt. It forms as a thin, transparent glaze, often mistaken for nothing more than a wet patch, but it is lethally slick. Vehicles that encounter black ice lose all traction in an instant, becoming helpless as they slide across the surface, unable to brake or steer, often careening into ditches, trees, or oncoming lanes. Snowdrifts add another layer of unpredictability as wind-blown powder accumulates in uneven mounds across the highway. These drifts can appear suddenly, creating patches of deep, loose snow that can trap or destabilize vehicles, especially at higher speeds. The result is a constantly shifting landscape of hazards. One moment the road is clear, the next it is a minefield of ice, snow, and hidden dangers. Even the most advanced vehicles, equipped with winter tires and modern safety systems, can find themselves at the mercy of these elements. Speed becomes a critical factor. The posted limits are often far too high for the conditions, and even moderate speeds can be dangerous when the road surface is unpredictable. Vehicles travelling too fast for the conditions are unable to stop in time, and even the smallest miscalculation can lead to disaster. The road's long, straight stretches can lull drivers into a false sense of security, encouraging higher speeds that become deadly when a patch of ice or a snowdrift appears without warning. Corners and bends, often hidden by snowbanks or fog, become traps for vehicles unable to slow down or maintain control. The aftermath is often marked by tyre tracks veering off the road, shattered guardrails, and the silent testimony of abandoned vehicles. Even with increased patrols and warning signs, the environmental and vehicular dangers persist, evolving with every storm and every freeze-thaw cycle. The road itself is a living, shifting hazard, its surface changing hour by hour, sometimes minute by minute, as weather and temperature fluctuate. Vehicles left stranded or abandoned become new obstacles, half buried in snow, waiting to catch the next unwary traveller. At night, the dangers multiply as darkness conceals ice patches and snowdrifts, and the cold intensifies the formation of black ice. The highway's isolation means that help can be far away, and a single misjudgment can leave a vehicle stranded in freezing conditions for hours. The environment is unforgiving, and the road's design, long exposed stretches with few barriers, offers little protection from the elements. Every kilometre presents a new set of challenges, from sudden snow squalls to invisible ice, demanding constant vigilance from every vehicle. Route 132 stands as a stark reminder of how the forces of nature and the limitations of vehicles can combine to create one of the most perilous stretches of road in Canada, where survival depends on respecting the ever-changing, merciless environment. For every driver stranded in a snowbank or involved in a terrifying crash, there is a team of professionals ready to plunge into the chaos. These are the unsung heroes of Route 132, the men and women who work tirelessly in the most appalling conditions to keep the road open and save lives. They are the tow truck drivers, the mechanics, the firefighters, and even the freelance journalists who document the mayhem. They are a special breed, bonded by the shared experience of confronting the road's worst moods. They are the ones who run towards the flashing lights when everyone else is trying to get away. They are, in every sense of the word, the guardian angels of the asphalt. Among them are figures who have become legends on this road. People like Tony Donju, the owner of a major towing company, who has spent 35 years pulling wrecks from ditches and clearing catastrophic pile-ups. He's seen it all and carries the weight of that experience with a quiet, professional resolve. Then there are mechanics like Martin, a veteran with 30 years under his belt, who works in the high-pressure environment of Montreal. He's the one who gets called to the routine fender benders and the multi-car pile-ups at the interchanges, working against the clock to get traffic moving again before the gridlock becomes total. His job is a puzzle of tangled metal and frustrated drivers, day in and day out. On the front lines of life-and-death emergencies are the firefighters. Men like André, a firefighter in the town of Amqui with over 2 decades of experience, and his chief Gisela, who commands operations in the northern part of the region. When a call comes in about a serious collision, especially one involving trapped occupants, they are the first to face the horror. They use their fire engines as massive shields to protect the accident scene from passing traffic, and they work with precision and courage in -30°C weather, using the jaws of life to cut people from their mangled vehicles. Their bravery in the face of danger is nothing short of extraordinary. And then there are the people who tell the story of the road. People like Sydney, a young dispatcher for a massive towing company by day who transforms into a freelance scoop hunter by night. Armed with a camera, he races to accident scenes, police chases and fire emergencies, capturing footage that he sells to local news stations. He is part of the road's ecosystem, a chronicler of its daily drama. These individuals, Tony, Martin, André, Gisela and Sydney, are not just doing jobs. They are performing a vital public service on one of the most dangerous stages in the country, each playing a crucial role in the relentless 24/7 battle to keep Route 132 from completely descending into chaos. The vehicles and equipment used on Route 132 are as varied as the challenges they face. Tow trucks equipped with powerful winches and cranes are essential for pulling vehicles out of ditches and clearing wrecks. Snowplows, often fitted with salt spreaders, work tirelessly to keep the roads clear during heavy snowfalls. Fire trucks carry hydraulic tools like the jaws of life, crucial for extricating trapped occupants from mangled vehicles. Ambulances are stocked with advanced medical equipment to provide immediate care to the injured. Mechanics rely on diagnostic tools to quickly assess and repair vehicles, ensuring they are roadworthy. Dispatch centres, equipped with multiple monitors and communication devices, coordinate the efforts of all these teams. Drones are increasingly used to survey accident scenes and provide real-time data to emergency responders. Thermal imaging cameras help locate individuals in low-visibility conditions, such as heavy snow or fog. GPS technology ensures that all vehicles can navigate the treacherous conditions and reach their destinations efficiently. Each piece of equipment, each vehicle, plays a vital role in the ongoing battle to keep Route 132 safe and operational. Together, they form an intricate web of technology and machinery, all working in unison to prevent the road from descending into chaos. On Route 132, the true rulers are the machines. Massive, meticulously engineered tow trucks designed to conquer the harshest conditions and the most daunting recoveries. These heavy-duty vehicles are built for power and precision, equipped with reinforced steel frames, high-torque winches and hydraulic booms capable of lifting and pulling immense loads from treacherous positions. When a lorry lies overturned in a ravine or a car is buried deep in a snowdrift, the recovery process begins with the careful positioning of the tow truck, its stabilizing outriggers extending to anchor the vehicle securely on unstable ground. The fleet itself is a testament to engineering. Dozens of trucks, each specialized for different types of recoveries, from compact wreckers for lighter vehicles to multi-axle giants for the heaviest loads. No matter the size or weight of the stranded vehicle, there is a machine in this arsenal ready to respond, each one maintained to withstand the relentless cold and punishing demands of the Canadian winter. These trucks are equipped with high-visibility lighting, robust tyre chains, and advanced traction systems, allowing them to navigate icy, snow-packed roads where ordinary vehicles would falter. The recovery operation is a choreography of mechanical strength and technical finesse. For a jackknifed lorry sprawled across the highway, the process starts with the deployment of two of the largest wreckers, each one positioning with precision to avoid further damage. The blocked road and mounting traffic add urgency, but the machinery is designed for rapid, safe deployment. Heavy-duty chains and steel cables are attached to reinforced anchor points on the disabled vehicle, while hydraulic winches and booms are calibrated for a synchronized lift and pull. The operation, though sometimes completed in as little as 30 minutes, demands unwavering attention to detail. One miscalculation in tension or angle could escalate the situation dramatically. Each day brings new mechanical challenges, like a 40-ton lorry loaded with cargo, slid off the icy road and resting precariously in a snowy ditch. The vehicle's position and shifting cargo create a highly unstable recovery scenario, requiring careful analysis of weight distribution and ground conditions. Here, the machinery's versatility shines. Adjustable booms, dual winch systems, and remote-controlled hydraulics allow for complex multi-point lifts. Every angle and load is calculated, with sensors and onboard computers assisting in real-time adjustments. Dual lift operations are orchestrated with precision, the two wreckers working in tandem to stabilize and upright the vehicle without causing further damage. The process is slow and methodical, often taking up to 45 minutes of careful winching and lifting, but it ensures the safe recovery of both vehicle and cargo. The environment itself adds layers of danger and complexity. Recovery vehicles operate just inches from live traffic, their reflective markings and flashing lights a vital barrier against oncoming cars. Despite legal requirements for drivers to slow down and move over, compliance is often dangerously low, making every operation a high-risk endeavour for the machinery involved. Near misses are a constant threat, with vehicles sometimes passing within inches of the recovery equipment. The machinery endures relentless stress, operating in freezing temperatures and hazardous conditions, yet remains the steadfast force restoring order to chaos. Over the years, these machines have faced every challenge Route 132 can deliver, from minor breakdowns to catastrophic collisions. Each recovery leaves its mark, but the mission remains unchanged. Clear the road, rescue the stranded vehicles, and restore the flow of traffic, one operation at a time. On Route 132, when disaster strikes, a sophisticated emergency response system is set into motion. One that relies on advanced vehicles, specialized tools, and meticulously crafted protocols. The backbone of this system is a fleet of emergency vehicles, including fire engines, rescue trucks, and ambulances, each equipped for rapid deployment and multifaceted response. These vehicles are designed to operate in the harshest conditions, snow, ice, and sub-zero temperatures, ensuring that critical equipment and personnel can reach even the most remote accident sites. A typical emergency response may involve a multi-vehicle collision during a blizzard, where visibility is near zero and the road surface is treacherous. In these conditions, emergency vehicles are equipped with high-intensity lighting, snow chains, and reinforced bumpers to navigate and secure the scene. Upon arrival, the first protocol is to position the fire engine as a protective barrier, blocking lanes to create a secure operational zone and prevent secondary collisions. The vehicles themselves are engineered to withstand extreme cold, with insulated compartments and heated storage for sensitive equipment. Hydraulic rescue tools, such as the Jaws of Life, are standard issue, capable of cutting through steel and prying open crushed vehicles even in freezing temperatures. All metal tools are treated to resist brittleness, and portable heaters are sometimes deployed to prevent equipment from freezing. The operation of these tools requires precision, as protocols dictate careful placement and methodical cutting to avoid further damage to vehicles or hazards to trapped occupants. Fire engines are also equipped with advanced communication systems, allowing coordination with dispatch, police and medical teams across vast stretches of rural highway. Standard procedure involves a rapid assessment of the scene, stabilization of vehicles, and the establishment of a triage area for medical evaluation. Specialized protocols are in place for complex incidents, such as those involving hazardous materials or large commercial vehicles. For example, when a car transporter loses control on ice, the response includes hazardous material containment, traffic rerouting, and structural assessment of the cargo. In scenarios where vehicles come to rest near power lines or residential areas, strict safety zones are established, and utility companies are notified to mitigate electrical hazards. Recovery operations are meticulously planned, often requiring the synchronized use of multiple heavy-duty tow trucks and cranes. These vehicles are equipped with winches, stabilizing outriggers, and remote controls to safely maneuver wreckage without endangering nearby structures or infrastructure. The entire process, from securing the scene to clearing the roadway, can take hours, with every step governed by strict safety and operational protocols. The emergency response system on Route 132 is also equipped to document and analyze each incident, using onboard cameras and data recorders to improve future responses. Data from collisions, including those caused by impaired or reckless driving, is used to refine protocols and enhance training for all emergency services. Notification systems are in place to alert relevant agencies and coordinate the delivery of critical information to affected parties. Regular training exercises are conducted, simulating a range of scenarios to ensure that vehicles, tools, and procedures are always ready for deployment. The strength of this system lies in its ability to adapt, integrating new technologies, updating protocols, and maintaining a state of constant readiness. On Canada's deadliest road, it is this network of vehicles, tools, and procedures that stands as the true front line, transforming chaos into order and preventing tragedy from escalating further. On Route 132, the eyes that never blink are everywhere. Surveillance and investigative technology have become the silent sentinels of this notorious stretch of road, capturing every moment of chaos, danger, and routine with unyielding precision. Mounted high above the asphalt, surveillance cameras scan the endless flow of vehicles, their lenses sweeping across lanes day and night. These cameras, equipped with high-definition sensors and night vision, record every swerve, every collision, and every near miss, storing terabytes of footage for investigators and analysts. Along the windshields of countless vehicles, dash cams stand guard. These compact devices, armed with wide-angle lenses and GPS tracking, document the journey of every driver, turning each car into a mobile witness. When disaster strikes, dashcam footage becomes crucial evidence, replaying the split-second decisions and unpredictable hazards that define Route 132. In the control rooms, walls of screens display live feeds from dozens of cameras, each one a window into the road's relentless activity. Operators monitor these feeds, ready to flag suspicious behavior, track the aftermath of accidents, or rewind the digital record to reconstruct the chain of events. Advanced license plate recognition systems scan passing vehicles, cross-referencing plates against databases in real time. Thermal imaging cameras pierce the darkness and fog, revealing hidden dangers, stranded vehicles, wildlife, or even the heat signatures of fleeing suspects. Drones, equipped with stabilized cameras and infrared sensors, patrol the skies above Route 132. They provide sweeping aerial views of accident scenes, track the movement of emergency vehicles, and offer perspectives impossible to capture from the ground. Every incident, from a minor fender bender to a rolling gunfight, is preserved in digital memory. Hard drives and cloud servers fill with hours of footage, each file stamped with time, date, and GPS coordinates, an unalterable record of the road's truth. Investigators piece together these digital fragments using split-screen comparisons of dashcam, CCTV, and drone footage to reconstruct the most complex events. Animated data transfers move critical evidence from dashcams to secure cloud storage, ensuring nothing is lost to time or tampering. Even in the dead of night, night vision and thermal cameras continue their silent vigil, capturing the headlights of speeding vehicles and the ghostly outlines of figures moving along the roadside. On Route 132, technology is both witness and investigator. The cameras, sensors, and recorders form an invisible network, chronicling every twist of fate and every act of chaos, ensuring that the story of this deadly road is told frame by frame with unflinching clarity. Route 132 is not a single unchanging ribbon of pavement. It is a road of shifting landscapes and evolving challenges, shaped by the land and the elements themselves. As it stretches east from Montreal, Route 132 undergoes a dramatic transformation. The scenery morphs from the dense, structured patterns of urban sprawl to the open, undulating countryside, where the road traces the contours of the land and the mighty St. Lawrence River. The journey begins amid a landscape dominated by concrete and steel, where the road is broad and straight, flanked by sound barriers and overpasses. Here the environment is shaped by the relentless geometry of the city, with little room for nature to intrude. The urban section is a maze of interchanges and overpasses, where the road surface is often worn smooth by countless tires, and the air shimmers with heat in the summer or glistens with rain and sleet in the colder months. Even here the environment poses its own hazards. Slick surfaces from sudden downpours, blinding reflections off wet asphalt, and the ever-present risk of hydroplaning during heavy rains. As the city recedes, the road narrows and the landscape opens up. The concrete gives way to fields and forests, and the St. Lawrence River emerges as a constant companion, its waters sometimes calm, sometimes churning with ice and wind. The road now weaves through a patchwork of farmland and woodland, bordered by snow-laden ditches in winter and wildflowers in summer. The environment becomes more unpredictable, with open stretches exposed to the full force of the elements. In these rural stretches, the road is often shadowed by towering snowbanks, and the wind sweeps unchecked across the fields, sculpting drifts and sending flurries swirling across the asphalt. The proximity to the St. Lawrence River brings its own set of challenges. In winter, the river's vast, frozen surface becomes a source of biting winds that whip across the road, dropping temperatures and creating sudden, treacherous patches of ice. The relentless freeze-thaw cycles cause the asphalt to crack and buckle, while the wind-driven snow can obscure the road markings and conceal hidden dangers beneath a deceptively smooth surface. Black ice forms silently, invisible to the eye, waiting to catch the unwary. One moment the road appears clear, the next it becomes a slick, glassy trap, sending vehicles skidding toward the snow-filled ditches. The landscape here is both breathtaking and unforgiving. The snow-draped trees and frozen riverbanks create a scene of stark beauty. But the memorials that dot the roadside are a silent testament to the hazards that lurk in the shadows of this winter wilderness. In these remote stretches, the environment reigns supreme. An accident here is not just a disruption. It is a confrontation with the raw, untamed power of the Canadian winter, where help may be miles away, and the only sounds are the wind and the river's icy breath. The contrast along Route 132 is profound, from the ordered artificial landscape of the city to the wild, unpredictable expanse of rural Quebec. The road is shaped and reshaped by the land, the weather, and the ever-changing seasons. Route 132 is more than just a stretch of pavement. It's a paradox. It is simultaneously a vital economic lifeline and a notorious killer, a thing of stark, frozen beauty and unimaginable danger. But beneath the roar of engines and the crunch of tires on ice, there exists a silent army. Mechanical and technological systems that work tirelessly, often unnoticed, to keep this treacherous artery open. These are the unsung heroes of infrastructure. The automated road weather stations, bristling with sensors that monitor temperature, wind and precipitation in real time, feeding critical data to control centres miles away. Snowplows, guided by GPS and coordinated by digital fleet management, stand ready in their depots, launching into action at the first sign of a storm, their blades and salt spreaders forming the first line of defence against winter's assault. Along the route, illuminated digital signs flash urgent warnings, while smart traffic cameras scan for hazards, relaying live images to operators who can trigger alerts or dispatch help in seconds. On bridges and overpasses, automated de-icing systems spray anti-icing fluids, and beneath the surface, heating cables pulse with energy, keeping critical stretches of road passable when the mercury plummets. Snow fences, strategically placed, tame the wind and trap drifting snow before it can bury the highway, while reinforced guardrails and high-visibility reflectors stand as silent sentinels, guiding vehicles safely through blinding storms. Drainage systems, engineered to resist freezing, channel meltwater away from the asphalt, preventing the formation of deadly black ice. In the most remote stretches, solar-powered emergency call boxes and digital weather alert systems offer lifelines to those in distress, their signals cutting through the silence of the snowbound wilderness. Avalanche mitigation systems, remotely triggered, preemptively release unstable snowpacks, safeguarding mountain passes from sudden disaster. Every grain of sand dispensed on a steep hill, every pulse of heat beneath a bridge, every byte of data transmitted by fibre optic cables. These are the invisible threads that hold Route 132 together. While the human stories of courage and resilience are legendary, it is these mechanical and technological marvels that form the backbone of survival on this road. They work without rest, without recognition, enduring the same brutal cold and relentless storms as the people who depend on them. Ultimately, Route 132 is not just a story of man versus nature, but of machine and system standing shoulder to shoulder with humanity, forging a lifeline through the heart of winter's domain. These unsung systems, unyielding, precise and ever vigilant, are the quiet guardians of the ice road, ensuring that no matter how fierce the storm, the connection endures. As Route 132 carves its way through Quebec's rugged landscape, it enters a realm where nature reigns supreme. Here, the road is not just a ribbon of asphalt. It is a corridor intersecting the ancient patterns of wildlife and the unpredictable power of the elements. Moose and deer, silent and massive, emerge from the shadowed forests at dusk, crossing the highway in search of food or shelter. Their sudden appearances are a constant threat, especially during the long winter nights when visibility is at its worst. Foxes, lynx and even the elusive black bear are sometimes glimpsed darting between snowdrifts and the tree line, their tracks crisscrossing the icy shoulders. Overhead, migratory birds, geese, hawks and snowy owls brave the fierce winds, sometimes swooping low across the lanes or perching atop roadside markers. But animals are just one part of Route 132's natural gauntlet. The road itself is shaped by powerful forces, blizzards that can erase the horizon in moments, transforming the world into a disorienting whiteout. Freezing rain that coats every surface in treacherous ice, turning the highway into a glassy, unpredictable slide, and sudden thaw and freeze cycles that spawn potholes and cracks, threatening to swallow tires and shake apart axles. Avalanche zones loom in the mountainous stretches where heavy snowpacks can suddenly break free, burying the road beneath tons of debris. Along the riverbanks, ice jams and rapid spring melts can cause flooding, washing over the asphalt and stranding vehicles with little warning. Rock slides and falling branches, loosened by wind or thaw, add to the ever-present dangers. Animal crossings, icy storms and shifting terrain. These are the wild, unyielding challenges that Route 132 faces every day. Here the natural world is not a backdrop, but an active, unpredictable force, demanding respect and vigilance from all who travel this legendary highway. Long before engines echoed across Quebec's vast landscape, the path that would become Route 132 was little more than a series of rough trails, carved by the footsteps of First Nations and early settlers. As the centuries passed, the need for a reliable lifeline along the St. Lawrence River grew ever more urgent, spurring a quiet revolution in infrastructure. Today, Route 132 stands as a testament to human ingenuity, its bones made of steel, stone and asphalt, woven together by generations of engineers and builders. Spanning hundreds of kilometres, the highway's bridges are silent sentinels, arching over rivers that swell with spring melt and ice. Some are graceful, modern structures of concrete and cable, while others, older and weathered, bear the marks of decades spent braving storms and floods. Each bridge tells a story of careful design to withstand ice flows, of repairs following floods, of reinforcement against the relentless freeze-thaw cycles that threaten their foundations. Tunnels, too, pierce through the hardest rock, allowing the highway to wind through mountainous terrain without surrendering to the land's natural obstacles. These passages, lit by the glow of sodium lamps, offer brief refuge from blizzards and falling debris, their walls echoing with the distant rumble of passing vehicles. Beneath every tyre, the road itself is a layered marvel. Early sections were rough gravel and packed earth, but over the decades new materials and techniques were introduced. Thick beds of asphalt, reinforced with rebar and modern polymers, designed to flex and endure the punishing climate. Drainage systems channel away floodwaters, while guardrails and snow fences stand ready to deflect the forces of nature. Yet, despite all this engineering, Route 132 remains in constant evolution. Repairs are ongoing. Upgrades are a race against time and the elements. Each year brings new challenges demanding innovation to keep this vital artery open and safe. Here the infrastructure is more than just concrete and steel. It is the enduring backbone of the highway, a living, adapting system that quietly shapes every journey along Quebec's legendary Route 132. Above the roaring engines and beneath the endless sky, an invisible network stands sentinel over Route 132. These are the silent guardians, advanced weather monitoring and warning systems working tirelessly to keep the highway's travellers safe. Scattered along the route, compact weather stations bristle with sensors, their instruments quietly measuring wind speed, temperature, humidity, and barometric pressure. Mounted cameras peer through snow squalls and dense fog, capturing real-time images for remote analysis. Embedded in the pavement, smart road sensors detect subtle changes in surface temperature, alerting central systems when black ice begins to form. Along windswept stretches and exposed bridges, anemometers spin, feeding live wind data to digital displays that flash urgent warnings to oncoming drivers. High above, Doppler radar and satellite feeds track approaching storms, relaying crucial information to roadside message boards, flashing alerts about blizzards, freezing rain or sudden squalls. All this data converges in automated control centres where algorithms process the incoming flood of information. When thresholds are crossed, warning signals are triggered, speed limits drop, hazard lights pulse, gates close off treacherous sections, and salt spreaders are dispatched before ice can take hold. Even as night falls and the highway empties, these systems remain vigilant, their digital eyes never blinking. On Route 132, nature's fury is met with innovation, a seamless web of technology that listens to the land and sky, making each journey safer, even when no one sees the danger coming.